Welcome back to the Real AI Agents. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of Idoegram, an innovative tool that's set to revolutionize your creative projects. Whether you're looking to create stunning visuals, captivating social media content, or professional-grade marketing material, Idoegram has you covered. But before we get started, let me introduce you to our team of creative agents for this video, the Sirens of Sleuth.
Hello, I'm Veronica Steele.
And I am Sophia Hart.
My name is Isabella Cross.
And I am Marina Voss, founder of Sirens of Sleuth.
Together, we'll show you how to make the most out of Idoegram. In this video, you'll learn how to use this generator tool. I'll give you some of my tips for prompting in this particular system. We'll cover what projects it did well by seeing how it compares to other generation tools like Leonardo, Playground, and DALL-E. As a bonus, stick around for my ultimate creator tip that will elevate your projects even further. Be sure you hang out until the end to enjoy the song Sirens of Sleuth and a plethora of images we've created for this week's agent theme. Let's start by getting the basics out of the way. When you head over to Idoegram.ai, this will be your home screen once you log on. You can log on using a Google account or an Apple account. On the free plan, you do receive 25 prompts each month. So if you go into your settings, you'll see where you have the 25 out of 25 when you get started. Each prompt will produce a set of 4 images for you. So technically that is 100 image generation on the free plan a month. When you come over to the sprocket next to your profile picture at the top, you will see that they do have a Discord community. So I have found that this can be a great place to go and connect with other creators to help you if you're stuck on a prompt or if you have a question about the system. This is honestly one of the quickest ways to get those things answered. And if we come back, you see, just like all the other systems, there is a couple of options you have for feeds. So here, for example, is my public feed. Because I am on the higher tier membership, I believe it's $20 a month right now, I am able to turn my image generations onto private generations. So I do have a private tab here where I can see all of my actual generations that I've created that I have not put on public, so that are not on my public feed here. I just started using it about a week ago. Idoegram came highly recommended by some other creators for its ability to produce high quality text. I'm diving in and taking a look at it. I've been playing with it for a few days, and I just want to bring to you what I've learned about it and show you some of what the image generation possibilities are in here using our topic of the Sirens of Sleuth today. So let's start by actually generating an image here. So I can just show you really quickly how you do that. And then we're going to take a look at what I think it did well and where it has a little bit of work still to do to catch up to some of the other systems. I will say, because of how this creation is done on here, it can be very challenging if you're not a lengthy, detailed prompter to get this system to operate correctly if you're not using the magic prompt. So even on the free plan, you can use this magic prompt here. And what it does is just like the prompt expander or your magic prompt in some of the other generation systems, it takes a short prompt, and when you turn it on, it will make it into a longer, more descriptive prompt to try to enhance your image before it generates it. So for this test one here, let's just go ahead and we'll just say beautiful female sleuth solving a mystery. And we'll go ahead and first I'll generate it with the prompt magic off for you. Same with the aspect ratio. You can go in and you can actually set it on whatever size that you need the finished product to come out as. So the top 3 right here are the ones that are visible. You've got the 9:16, which is your story size, the 1:1, which would be like your static social post, and then the 16:9, which would be your presentation or video slides. Under that, you've got your visibility. You've got public or private. Obviously, if you're on the free plan, you don't get to choose on that, but we are going to leave mine on private right now. And then you've got a couple more settings down here. If you're on the free plan, you'll notice that these 3 three bottom ones are all locked. You do not have the ability to use these on the free plan. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave these off for this image demonstration, just so that you can see what would be possible on the free plan, because that's really the only difference in here. This is not a complex system for you to just come in and start playing with right away. It is really set up to have a prompt and produce an image. That simple. There's not a lot of settings and different samplers and all of that kind of stuff that we run through on some of the other systems that I use regularly in these videos. But there are a couple options down here at the bottom for different filters. And if you hit the little three dots here, you'll see that there's even more that pop up. So I know that that can be super overwhelming, especially when you only have 25 prompts that you can play around with. So I actually went ahead and put together an Airtable for you guys. And I do have the link for this in the description. So everyone who's watching this video has access to this gallery that I have in here. I took each filter that's available in Idoegram and I crafted a short, quick prompt designed to produce a strong image in each one. And I broke it down. I ran the image, so you'll see the 4 generations that each one of these prompts produced in each filter. And I left a little description of what the filter does in here, and also the use case so that you know when the best time to use each filter is, and then a practice prompt. So feel free to simply copy and paste this prompt into Idoegram, and you can make the images that you see in here and tweak them just to kind of help you get an idea of prompting on each filter. Hopefully that's something that's helpful to you guys. If so, I would love if you let me know in the comments. Tip number 1, be specific and detailed. Clearly describe the subject, setting, and context. Avoid vague terms and be as detailed as possible about what you want to see in the image. Include details about colors, textures, poses, expressions, and the actions of the character or objects in your image. Tip number 2, use descriptive language. Utilize descriptive adjectives to convey the look and feel of your desired image. Words like vintage, futuristic, elegant, or casual can set the tone. Make use of comparisons to well-known objects or scenes to give the AI a clearer vision of your idea. Tip number 3, include context and background. Describe the environment and background elements. Mention specific locations, times of day, or weather conditions if they're relevant. Provide context for the scene. Is the character engaged in a specific activity? Is there a story behind the image? Tip number 4, experiment with magic prompt. Use Ideogram's magic prompt feature to automatically enhance and expand your initial prompt. This can add creative flair and details you might not have thought of. After magic prompt has generated an enhanced prompt, review and tweak it to better fit your vision. Tip number 5, iteration and refinement. Don't hesitate to generate multiple versions of an image. Refine your prompts based on the output you receive, making adjustments to improve alignment with your vision. Tip number 6, utilize describe feature. Use the describe feature in Ideogram to create text descriptions from images you like. This can help you understand how specific details are translated into prompts and guide you into crafting your own. Tip number 7, incorporate styles and themes. Include style-related keywords like watercolor, comic book, photorealistic, or abstract to guide the artistic direction of the image. If your image fits a particular theme, for example, noir, cyberpunk, nature, make sure to mention these elements in your prompt. So now that we know some of those tips, let's head back to Idoegram here. So now that we've covered how to use the system, the different filters involved, and my prompting tips, let me tell you what I've found that Idoegram is best used for when it comes to creating content. Number 1, memes. I have yet to find a better art generator when it comes to making memes, but there is a catch to that. So let me show you really quick how important prompting is when trying to get a good meme out of the system. Ideogram. So here we go. On this one, I put in a prompt here, and you have to remember when you're creating a specific kind of content like a meme or a social media infograph or a poster, something like that, you want to ensure that you're putting that word in the prompt somewhere at the beginning of the prompt. But you can see in this one at the end, I added a caption for the meme itself here. And you can see that when I generated those images, the text is not correct at all. So you might be wondering why that is. Let me show you what happens when you move that text up to the beginning of the prompt. So like a lot of other AI generation systems, it kind of goes in the order that you put things in the prompt as to how important each thing really is to what your finished product needs to be. So you can see in this one, I took that caption and the text from the bottom of the prompt and made it the second line of the prompt here. You'll also notice that I capitalized all of the letters involved that I wanted on the meme. I've found that it just works better when the text that I'm trying to get it to generate is all capitalized. And you can see then that when I did that, it actually was able to generate some images here that actually have the correct spelling. Now, this is a little wonky here how it came in, but for the most part, everything is spelled correctly here. Again, with the L and the N kind of merging together, there is a little bit of an issue, but it does have everything right on here. I could get rid of this and make it an apostrophe instead of a quote. And then obviously this image itself would need to be cleaned up. Here's another good example of it getting the text correct on that generation. Again, the image needs quite a bit of work, but all in all, it's really good at creating the memes. Let me show you a couple I made earlier in the week. So we've got this one here. It put a little gap between the H and the A, but all in all, that made a pretty good meme there. Again, another one with the same text overlay on it. Here's another one and another one. So you can see it does really well on the meme generation. The second piece of content I've noticed that making in here seems to be easier than other systems is posters. So you can see here when I prompted it to make a poster and I turned on the typography and the poster filter, it came out with a great poster for their grand opening. I could erase this line right here where things are not spelled correctly and just get rid of that, or I could do a text overlay in a different editing program when I'm done. Here's another great example of a poster done in here where I entered in the date of the grand opening and it actually got that correct along with the Sirens of Sleuth and the grand opening. Good picture quality on there. And you can see these are the other ones that it generated when I was using this prompt here. So all in all, those are some pretty cool posters. It does that really well, especially like I said, when you turn on the poster filter. The third thing I've really enjoyed making in Idoegram is the infographics. Because Idoegram is able to handle such large prompts, I could actually go in and create each section of these. I could number it and identify how I want it to lay out the information I'm trying to produce on here, and it would come out correctly as long as I was prompting it in the right way. So you can see the structure for the infographic that it does is great. It's nice and clear and legible. The graphics are well coordinated with what I would want in there. And again, I didn't prompt this one to be correct on any of the text. I just put in a simple prompt over here of creating an infographic, how to gather evidence with step-by-step visuals and a clear text descriptions. Obviously, this isn't a piece of content I really needed for what I am accomplishing with the content that I'm using for the Sirens of Sleuth this week. But if you have a business or some other reason that you need a good infographic, Idoegram is definitely the art generator I would use first to try to do something like that. Let me show you what you would get if you put this in something like DALL-E. So you see if I put this in and I generate it in DALL-E, it produces almost a picture inside of a picture. It's not something that you're really able to read. It does have some cool graphics on it, but nowhere near what you're capable of doing with Idoegram. So that's definitely a huge plus plus there. And you can see these are the other ones that were created on just that simple prompt there. The other thing I think it does really well is product images. So for example, I just put in product image of a woman's briefcase with Sirens of Sleuth displayed on it. And I did turn the magic prompt on for this one. So you can see there that it really does produce a high quality image for the product shot. And it does have the sirens. It's missing the F in the of sleuth, but here, let's take a look at the cover one. So as you can see here, great briefcase. You can tell it is made for more of a feminine feel. It's got Sirens of Sleuth correctly written on it. It even has sleuth down here where the cell phone or whatever this is would go. And again, just a little handbag style one here and a nice old leather locked one. So product images are super easy and really well done in Ideogram. All of those positives said, there are some things it doesn't do as well as some of the other systems. For example, photorealism. Ideogram is really lacking in the photorealism department. So you'll notice even when I put in photorealistic female sleuth standing under a streetlight in the middle of the night looking for clues, I'll turn on the magic prompt and I will also turn on the photo. And you'll see here, let's go ahead and change the aspect ratio to 9:16 for this one. Okay, so you can see a lot of distortion in the face. It just doesn't look photorealistic to me. Maybe that's because I've used systems like Playground and Leonardo and DALL-E for so long, but let me show you compared to what we got here, what we would get in one of those other generators. Let's copy that prompt. We'll take it back over to DALL-E. We'll change our aspect ratio again so it matches. Okay, so you can see in DALL-E, it does have more of a photorealistic quality to it. Definitely more crisp and clear in the image, not the distortion in her face that it had in Ideogram. Same on the second part it generated here. This one's a little sloppy in the creation. My opinion, just as a creator myself who uses these systems, Leonardo is always the top dog in the fight for photorealism. So let's jump into Leonardo and I'll show you really quick what I mean. So here we're going to put in photorealistic sleuth standing under a street light looking for clues. And I'll just leave it on their model that's made mostly for photorealistic images here. I'll change the aspect ratio and I'll do quality. And you can see here, the photorealism is unmatched in any of these other systems. Upscaled, this would look like a real person, indistinguishable from an AI generated image. So that is where I find most of the lacking in this system. But what they lack in photorealism, they definitely make up in text for content creators. Before we jump into taking a few minutes to listen to the song, let me just show you really quickly how you can explore different images on Ideogram made by other people to help with your prompting. So when you're on the home screen here, you'll see that you have a couple options for explore, following, and top. You can also change 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or 3 months out, and you can just scroll and see the different things that are on here. And let's say you find one that you really like. So like, I think this is a cool looking one. I can choose that image and I can actually see the entire prompt that was used over here, as well as the magic prompt that was used. I can also see the other 3 that were generated when this person created this image. If I love this image, I could go ahead and like it here with the heart. I could follow this creator. I could retry this prompt exactly as it is, or I could actually make this prompt myself in a different kind of image. If I hit the remix button here, you'll see it brings the prompt in, and it also does that image guidance weight on here where I could get it close or further away. And I could change this from something like, instead of Buddha, I could do, I don't know, like a cat or something in there. And I could change the words that are in here to make it something, you know, closer to what I wanted it to be. So that's just an example of how you can use the prompting in here to help you design your own prompts and your own images. I always like to recommend not taking other people's images exactly as they are. That's not art, that's just copying. So I think it's important to put your own twist on a lot of these when you come in and do that. That's just a side note, my own personal opinion in that. So now take a few minutes to relax and enjoy our song from this week's theme, Sirens of Sleuth.
In a neon haze, they move like a dream. haunted by the secrets, nothing's as it seems. Eyes sharp as daggers, hearts full of scars, chasing down the shadows underneath the stars. Behind the tough exterior, the hearts still ache. Every solved case, a piece of them, they stake through the lies and deception. They fight to see the truth that sets the captives free. Sirens of warriors of the night, bringing truth to light. The labyrinth of lies, they find their way. Silent guardians, come on, baby. The city streets with their heels on the ground, hunting for the secrets that are buried and bound. Every photograph, every whispered name, pieces of the puzzle in this endless game. Behind the shades, there's a fire in their eyes, uncovering the secrets amidst the lies. With every case, they're writing history. Sirens of sleuth, unraveling the mystery. They're the sirens of sleuth, diving deep into the truth. In the night, they find their way. Private eyes, no time to play. Challenges they face, living life in a high-speed chase. Clues are all they need. Sirens of sleuth, they take the lead. In a world of shadows, they stand tall. No mystery too great, no case too small. With a heart of steel and a mind so keen, they're the best detectives you've ever seen. Pieces of the puzzle behind the shadows of sleuth, diving deep into the truth. In the night, they find their way. Private eyes, no time to play. Challenges they face, living life in a high-speed chase. Clues are all they need. Sirens of sleuth, they take the lead. Sirens of sleuth. Sirens of sleuth. Sirens of sleuth. Sirens of sleuth.
All right, guys, that wraps up our ideogram tutorial today. Thanks for spending some time with me to learn all about this system. Remember, if you generate something using this and you think that we would love to see it, make sure you're following us on your favorite social media platform and go ahead and tag us or put the hashtag #TheRealAIAgents so that we can see your creations. I'm Jessica with The Real AI Agents, and as always,